Hello patrons, Taliesin here. I just want to drop you this quick video to say hello, how are you doing? You look really well, by the way. Your hair looks very nice and don't think I haven't noticed. Have you been working out? Looking really good. But I also wanted to apologise for the lack of a weekly reset this week, and B, that patron Q&A. You'll notice it's just me doing this video here now without Evertel. We had a manic weekend and a manic kind of end of the week as well, and it all kind of got on top of us. And as we will tweet later on, maybe you've already seen that, we looked at what we had for the weekly reset, the video, the script that we've written and the video that we recorded and put together, and unfortunately this time it failed the quality control. You know that we take our weekly reset very, very seriously, and we'd already had one in the last month or so that didn't have Evertel in it and didn't have an opening sketch and stuff, and we could have done that again, but yeah, we didn't really want to. And it's a shame because this week was going to be really good as well. There was lots to talk about, obviously the classic server names and the 50th anniversary Mount Store drama shit show, which was going to be so exquisite that we're probably going to move it over to next week if there's nothing else to talk about then. And all other sorts like Rathian's diary and stuff like that. All stuff that we can talk about separately, but that would have made an especially good episode of the Weekly Reset. We had an Ian and Law intro skit as well, which again we might just move over to an extra episode, re-recorded obviously, we'll give you the good stuff. But our weekend was so busy in the end that what we ended up with felt a little bit rushed. And we felt like the world deserved better. You know, we got quite high standards. No, honestly, we actually do. You might not believe it by watching the actual episodes themselves, but promise you, we do have some quite high standards on that. One of the reasons why it was such a busy weekend was because we were looking after Neil Acree, the composer, one of the composers in World of Warcraft, who tends to do most of the cinematics now. That's what he does the compositions for. And he was in town because he was recording in Abbey Road, doing some not WoW-related things, which is why I'm allowed to talk about it, doing some cinematic trailers, music for like trailers for films. Anyway, and we went out for dinner on Friday night and we caught up and we thought that was going to be it, but then he was like, hey, do you guys want to come down to Abbey Road tomorrow and watch the chorus, record their chorus bits for these new cinematic tracks and stuff? Cinematic trailers that aren't anything to do with WoW. And we were like, is that allowed? And he was like, yeah, we'll sneak you in. So we sat for a while on Saturday in the control room of Abbey Road watching the choir in Studio One record, which for like a Beatles nerd like me and Evertel is like the biggest deal ever. It was like this magical thing. And then on Saturday night, of course, we had the Overwatch and World of Warcraft pub quiz with lots of people coming down to say hello there as well, which is amazing because so many of you guys came down. If you were watching this and you made it to that quiz down at the loading bar, thank you. It was so awesome to meet you. And obviously there were just like so many people to meet, and we had guildies there and stuff as well, and it was just fantastic because it's the best thing in the world. The quiz was great fun. A Warcraft team made up of 2 people won the quiz, which was absolutely incredible. I got to fulfill my lifetime ambition of being a pub quiz master, which we really want to do again soon. Keep your ears peeled, London folks, because I want to have a proper T&E meetup where we have a proper Warcraft quiz. It's going to be legit. It's going to be fun. We're going to make it happen. Maybe this year, maybe later. But it's definitely going to happen. And obviously that completely destroyed our routine as well, because Saturdays and Friday are usually such a big deal to make the weekly reset happen, and we have both of those days essentially written off because of pesky old Neil Acree. So I'm really sorry about that, and the stuff that we came up with yesterday did feel rushed, and it didn't feel up to our normal standard. So sorry about that. So to make up for that, because I know this video doesn't make up for that, and I'm really sorry about that. And to make up for that, we're gonna work really hard on like another video this week that we'll get out. We've got another busy week, like unfortunately socially this week. It's really annoying. My parents are coming down on Wednesday, so we're gonna have to spend some time with them. Obviously we've got D&D tomorrow, things like that. We've got oh yeah, that's another thing that pissed us off about the weekend. Obviously we lost our world. Nothing we'd have talked about. We lost our world first. Lost it. You might have noticed, but Est Immortalis downed Queen Ashara our time in the early hours of Sunday morning. before our raid on Sunday, and we were like, oh, never mind, guys, we lost fair and square, but at least we'll get Ashara down tonight because we've got a whole evening on Ashara. Nothing like it. We got to about, I think our best pull was like 48% or something, and we spent the entire night on that shit. I think it's going to be a long old trip for us on Queen Ashara, put it that way. And in the meantime, I woke up this morning to see that a bit like Immortalis have also now downed her last night. So we missed first and second place. We are now fighting for third in the world first for guilds a bit with a name a bit like Immortalis, and frankly there's no guarantee that we're actually going to get third either, so that's just put us all in a bad mood. All right, okay, like things are a bit edgy at the moment, but that didn't help. And then it didn't help when this morning we were putting the weekly reset together and just looked at it and thought, oh no, like we couldn't put it out. Anyway, so this week I want to work on a video. Now, one of the videos I've been meaning to do for a while is 12 things you hate about Najata. Remember that 12 things you hate about Zandalar video that we did? Which I always love those videos because you get to take on a bit of a persona and you get to just go off on one completely and be really moany and really over-the-top whiny and like complain about some really stupid little things in a really like over-the-top way. And I really enjoy that. They're really fun to write, they're really fun to perform, they're really fun to put together. But I need some of your suggestions about the 12 things that you hate about Najata. If you've seen the 12 things you hate about Zandalar video, you know the kind of thing we're after. Not necessarily even actual complaints, just, you know, things that we can kind of like hilariously riff off. So your suggestions for that would be greatly appreciated. And the other video that I want to kind of work on, which I suspect is the one we're actually going to put out this week, is Alliance Forsaken and how they would work and in what way would Blizzard actually implement them, which maybe sounds a bit boring, but I think there's a lot to talk about there. Like, would it be the Lightbound undead, which are like a whole different type of undead, which suddenly the Alliance have access to? Is it going to happen because Horde and Alliance aren't going to exist next expansion? Or is it going to be that thing where like existing Forsaken are literally leaving the Horde to join Kalia Menethil in the Alliance? Who knows? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Even if you're one of those people that thinks Kalia Menethil is an abomination, shouldn't exist, I'd still love to hear it. I'd still love to hear your opinion. And the idea is we'll get one of those videos out. Love to hear which one you think we should do this week as well. I've got a feeling it's probably going to be the Kalia one because that would be more of a traditional Taliesin talks. The 12 things you hate about Najata video would probably take considerably more work, and because it's quite a rushed week, I guess we're probably going to go for the Kalia one. But either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Sorry this is such a weird video, but I wanted to touch base with you guys. Apologise for lack of Q&A as well, because, you know, Evertel's here right now, but she's in her dressing gown, you know, and just like moping around in the living room. She's just not been well recently. It's just another thing. Maybe we'll tell you more about that in a future video or something. But yeah. Your support means the absolute world to us, guys. And I know we have got 3 weekly resets out in the last 3 weeks before this week. So, like, I always feel like if we miss one a month, that's kind of like acceptable. Any more than that is a bit dodgy. So, yeah. My apologies. And if it means we get to put more stuff in the next weekly reset, it's kind of left over from this week, and next weekly reset is like extra good, then maybe that will be okay. But we'll have to wait and see. I'd love to hear your thoughts on those things that I mentioned. We're going to try and get the Q&A out next time we're both at home and Evie is feeling up to it. And we can gather the questions, because we almost run out of questions on the Q&A thread on Patreon now. We're going to start taking them from the Discord, which just takes a little bit of extra work because we have to like screen cap them and save them as files and things like that. But they are coming. They are on their way. Winners of our Ashara prints... those got posted on Saturday. We were just waiting for one extra address to come through, which took a while, which held everything up because we wanted to post everything at once because it's just easier. We kept one of them for ourselves because they sent us like 11 packs so we could show one off in the videos and things. And we gave some of the prints away at the pub quiz on Saturday, but we did keep one for ourselves, which is this Ashara and Nazoth one. So I'm going to get this framed, and I'm going to put this up in the office somewhere when I decide where. Am I back in focus? Yeah, excellent. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, I'm going to start uploading this. Then I'm going to start working on a video, basically stealing all of your ideas. That'd be really cool. One thing, another thing, Another thing that I wanted to mention that would have been in the weekly reset this week is, for those of you who don't know, and we have mentioned it on stream, and we have mentioned it on Twitter now, but for those who don't know, we are going to be playing WoW Classic, obviously, when that launches. Going to be reserving some names tonight. And if you wanted to play on the same server as us, or if you wanted to completely avoid the same server as us, and that's legit, I can completely understand that. The whole streamer dynamic thing is a thing that I think streamers get a little bit prissy about. They're like, oh, how dare you be offended and not want to play on the same server as a streamer. I completely understand it, fam. I completely understand why you wouldn't want to play on the same server as a streamer. Now, as it happens, I think our community is small enough so it won't actually affect the server that much, but I get it. So we're going to be playing on Zandalar Tribe EU, which is the EU RP PvP server. Because that's the server we said we wanted to play on, and that's the server we're going to play on. And I'm going to be going Horde. I really, because my early days of WoW were all in the Alliance. I feel like I've seen a lot of that pre-Cataclysm Alliance stuff, but I've hardly seen any pre-Cataclysm Horde stuff. So I'm really looking forward to kind of play Forsaken. Think it's going to be a Forsaken Shadow Priest, and playing through all that stuff that I never ever saw, with any of you guys that want to come along in tow, because we are going to have a community guild. We think it's going to be called Taliesin. Which amuses me so much. Like, literally every time I say it, I kind of giggle to myself. So every time I say it out loud and I realize how happy that name makes me, the more sure I am that that's going to be the name. But so if that's what you want to do, and you are looking to like name a character tonight in EU time when that goes live, I think it's like 11 p.m. British time and like midnight European time. Then Zandalar Tribe, the RP PvP server, is a place where you want to be on Horde or Alliance if you want to be like ganking us, which I wouldn't blame you, frankly. Guys, thank you so much for sitting through this weird thing, but this is okay for like this is what Patreon is all about, right? This more kind of like personal thing. Yeah, I'd love to hear your suggestions. Sorry again, and I'm going to get back to making some videos. From me, Taliesin, thank you so much. See you soon. Cheerio.